Now, of course, we talk about the Southeast, and we have to think about what happened in areas like Asheville, North Carolina, and truly western North Carolina with Hurricane Helene. This is damage from that event, catastrophic flooding. Where do they stand months later? Well, let's talk with Fox Weather's Robert Ray, who's on the ground in Swannanoa, North Carolina. And wow, Robert, last time we were talking, it was dry, and now it's really starting to come down.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we've been talking about this intermittent rain that has been pulverizing the southeast, including here in Swannanoa, about 10 miles to the east of Asheville. Hey, Steve and everybody, look at this, the Swannanoa River. We've got some light rapids that are beginning to move through this because of the amount of rain falling. This river was very still a couple hours ago. And you know, during Hurricane Helene 8 months ago, this river exploded and went up about 40, 50 feet up this bank and just toppled over structures where the camera lens is right now. And I'm walking through some of the remnant of all of this debris. You have the front end of a vehicle here. You have another vehicle right here surrounded by wood, rocks, bricks, cinder blocks, parts of buildings, and then of course all the fall off and the runoff of the erosion of the land. And that is one of the big concerns with the 3 to 5 inches of rain falling throughout today, into tonight, into tomorrow here, and in some areas up to 8 inches of rain, unfortunately. The concern is that all of this compromised landscape that is already sort of pushing back down into the river because of the rain is going to get worse. And up in the hills and the mountains here in the Blue Ridge, a big concern on the roadways that are still being repaired 8 months later from Hurricane Helene's amount of rain and damage that it caused across western North Carolina. I mean, look, there's no way to sugarcoat what happened here. This was a catastrophic event, something that maybe generations will never experience again. God, we hope not. And there is years of rebuilding and reimagining this entire region. Livelihoods were lost. And then you have the most rain falling since that October day when Helene came in here, and that most rain is today. And you've got a lot of people on edge and concerned. Clearly, we're not going to hit anything like what Hurricane Helene dropped. I mean, like, not even close. Having said that, what you do see, and hopefully our live report illustrates, is just how compromised some of the areas still are and why people need to keep their heads on a swivel during this rain event. By tomorrow afternoon, it will all be gone, and that's the good news. Steve?
The vulnerability of this region, Robert, now we know how devastating Helene was, but the impacts still remain. We think about the farmers in western North Carolina. A lot of people don't realize there's a big farming community. We have Fox Business contributor Phil Flynn. He's going to join us tomorrow about that and how the farmers are really ingrained in the community. Robert, you and I were talking about this before. I had been in Asheville a couple of times before Helene. What I loved about it was the breweries along the water, and on the menu, they were, very adamant about farm to table. And you could get your dish, you eat it, and you'd say, hey, here's the farm down the road, and they would encourage you to go visit that farm. That's not something that's realistic anymore, it seems like, for these spots in western North Carolina.
And they're trying to get the roadways still open in some of the areas that are up on the higher elevations where a lot of these farms are. But you're so right. I mean, look, Asheville is full of the organic restaurant feel, and it's a place that, frankly, people from around the world, if they are in the Appalachian Mountains, in the Blue Ridge Mountains, want to go visit because of the Biltmore Estates, because of the diversity, the eclectic nature of Asheville, and the great chefs, 5-star Michelin chefs, and like you said, the farm to table. And indeed, so, it's interesting, later this week, we are actually going to be exploring that exact concept. And later, at some point this summer, likely, we will have an entire program, an entire show looking into the rebuilding efforts of these restaurants and some of the agriculture folks in this area. Because, it's not just homes and businesses on the sides of roads, it's entire economies, and the tourism economy is so important to Asheville and the surrounding areas. So I'll look forward to bringing that to Fox Weather and other Fox platforms in the coming months, Steve.
I look forward to seeing it, Robert. Everything that you do, from national parks to these big events, you do it great. And I think it's important to share the heart of those communities, the backbone, and when you talk about feeding each other. And that's where really the community comes together. Look forward to seeing that show in that report. Robert, thank you for that update from Swannanoa.